we recording? Okay. And a 1, and a 2, and a... We are the Mrs. and a Mike. 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 We are the Mrs. and a Mike.
Oh, that was a good one.
I know, girl. I got into that one.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Mrs. and a Mike podcast. This is CJ.
It's Al.
Sorry, I was yawning.
Really?
That sounds weird.
Really?
I'm sorry.
We don't want the listeners to think you're not excited to talk to them.
I'm always excited to talk to them, but listen, it is hard out here for a pimp, okay? These kids wear me down. I told y'all before, I be trying to be Susie homemaker and cook all these meals and do all this laundry, which, by the way, can I tell you my youngest likes to do laundry? And by youngest, he's 1.
Aww.
And all nothing, because he takes clean clothes too and puts them in the washing machine with the dirty clothes. And then he thinks he's pushing the buttons, but the cycle will already be running, so he'll stop it. So I have to rewash the cycle, because I don't know what part it was on. I don't know if it was on the spin part, the rinse part, so yeah. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to put up a gate or something, because it's a mess. Anyways, but hi guys!
Hi.
Welcome to the Mrs. Anna Mike. The Mrs. Anna Mike. CJ's supposed to say this part, but she is distracted on her phone, probably on social media, which we gonna talk about today. Hey, we gonna talk about today. Hey. See? She's still on the social media, by the way.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Can you stop doing it for the gram and do it for the podcast for a minute?
First off, it's not social media. It's my sister. Okay, she and I were trying to organize, meeting up to get something done. And so she's texting me, and I don't want her to wait until the end of the episode and think that I'm ignoring her, because she will just show up at my doorstep.
She said unannounced. Like, what you doing, girl?
Right.
Which she's always welcome on the podcast. We enjoy having her.
She is.
Yes.
But I just wanted to make sure I responded so that we don't have a random doorbell.
Ding dong. It'd be like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Right.
It's like, who's come today? Ding dong. We should do that one episode. But we should have like celebrities show up. Y'all know any celebrities?
We can work on it. We'll work on it.
I'm a celebrity.
There you go.
But I'm already here, so I don't count. My new friend is going to be a celebrity. My fashion friend. He or she is going to be a celebrity. Yep.
Okay.
Bet y'all don't know me and Beyonce friends. We are. Bet y'all don't know that.
What does this have to do with what we are talking
I'm trying to give you a chance to handle your business to get back to the
good.
listeners.
I apologize, listeners.
Thank you.
I'm ready to go.
I just want to point out, she wanted to call me out for yawning, but she was completely ignoring y'all for a whole full 5 minutes. But continue.
So, do we want to talk about our...
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
Our thing.
Our life happenings.
Yes. Can I go first with this one? Okay.
Sure.
So my thing is, my husband hypothetically embarrassed the hell out of me in public. I know you're thinking, how can somebody hypothetically embarrass the hell out of you? Y'all ever watch that show, What Would You Do?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that show.
So it's a show basically where they create scenarios in public with actors, and they have hidden cameras all over to see what the public would do in that situation.
I think I've seen that before.
So there was a situation where it was supposed to be a mom with her 2 kids, and one of the kids' birthdays or something. They were at a Mexican restaurant. And she was too poor to pay for anything else except like them sharing 1 quesadilla and some water. So, most of the people either came up to her and gave her a hug and slid her a 20, or one lady gave her a $100 bill. Some people didn't confront her at all, just called the waiter over and was like, put their food on my bill and give them more of whatever they already had, that kind of thing or something like that. My husband says, and I quote, I mean, they at a Mexican restaurant. chips and salsa is always free. They should just fill up on those.
What?
I was so embarrassed.
Mr. Bree.
Look, I told him, I said,
Shame.
if we were really in that scenario and they had you on camera saying that to that woman, I would have left you right then and there. Because I'm sitting here like, I wouldn't even confront her because, I wouldn't want to embarrass her. I also wouldn't want the kids to, know like this was a low point for mom. So I would just tell the waiter, give them 2 more of whatever they ordered, and just put everything on my bill. And then the boy said it was his birthday, bring him some cake or something, for his birthday. And just say it's on the house, they want some contest. I don't care, whatever. Just put it on our bill. No, my husband's going to go up to her and suggest that she get her fill on chips and salsa. Y'all
Mr.
husbands ever
Bree.
embarrass y'all out in public like that?
He acted like he actually did it on the show.
Right. Like this really happened. It did not.
I mean, hypothetically, I was pissed, okay? That's all I have to say. Anyways, Elle, what was yours?
Well, this may seem small to some people, but everybody knows that I love my Amazon. Love my Amazon.
Yes.
Order everything on there. Well, we had a package thief. So
A bald head scallywag, too. I was going to come down and fight her.
yeah,
I can't stand a thief.
I was livid, okay? But she's gone. And we've been able to successfully retrieve our packages from our front porch. So I'm very, very happy.
That is
about
awesome news.
It's awesome. I'm laughing because you said she's gone like y'all made her disappear. They didn't like take her out just so if the people listening don't like report us.
No.
No, they did it the legal proper way. But luckily their packages are safe now. And
Yes.
it's crazy because y'all live in a nice area. Like
And we have a
doesn't
camera.
that's how we got to see she was a
Yes.
bald head scallywag. I had her all over social media too. I hope some of her friends was like, "Girl, they talking shit about you. Why you stealing people packages?" And then I was mad because she had on a bonnet. And you know how our husbands already talk about the bonnets are like the root of all evil. And I was like, why she had that on a bonnet?
Mr. L was that was just the icing on the cake. And then she had on a bonnet outside.
In the middle of the day. Oh my gosh. CJ, what about you?
So I know that I have mentioned that my little one is starting Big Kid School. And so his school is a French immersion program. So it has forced me to start, I guess, like looking over the French that I learned in high school and college. And I'm actually excited because I remember a ton more than I thought I would. So now I'm just getting back into hearing it spoken in conversations and understanding what they're talking about, but I'm excited.
Oh, that's
Remind
awesome.
me, I found a program that I think would be awesome for you. I'm not going to say the name on their podcast because they didn't pay us for this.
Right.
But if they would like to pay us, they can reach us at the Mrs.
No, it's just
Mrs. I'm sorry.
We're
At
getting used to this
Mrs.
new-
and a mic at gmail.com. And we will say y'all's name. But in the meantime, I will personally off the podcast let
Yes.
you know. I think it's going to
Yes,
be awesome
let me
for
know.
you. And that way he won't know more than you. So he won't be having conversations that you don't know.
Yeah, and I'm actually more worried about
kids.
Mr. CJ than I am myself. Because like I said, I took it literally all throughout high school and then for a few semesters in college. So a lot of it is coming back to me, even like the grammar bits and pieces. But Mr. CJ has not taken any of it. So he's starting from
He's starting
scratch.
From scratch, okay.
Yes.
I cannot wait to hear Mr. CJ in all his New Orleans accent glory speaking proper French. Oh my God. It's going to be like, yeah, baby, bonjour. You know? Comment allez-vous?
You heard me.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? I just can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be wonderful. Wonderful.
So I'm excited about that.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out. Okay, so I guess we should just dive on in the deep pool here.
Yes, we should. Let's do it.
So as I stated earlier, because CJ was on her phone, today we're talking about social media and relationships.
Yes.
Which is weird because this is not even an issue for people 15 years ago.
Right. I was getting ready to say this is definitely a newer issue because I can literally remember when Facebook started.
Yes, because we were like one of the we didn't go to the same college. Y'all were in that same like group though, I think. So there were like the Ivies, and then
Right,
they
when
did
they
the big schools.
Right, they
and so
introduced
we
it gradually.
we were introduced when they did the big schools. I think y'all were too. Because I had a friend who went to Columbia and she was like, have you heard about this thing called the Facebook? And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, it's like a program and it like connects you to like other students and other schools. You got to have like an EDU address and blah, blah, blah. And she sent me a link and she was like, look and see, I think your school's added. And it was. So go Tigers. Shout out to LSU. So I joined. That was in 2004.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even remember. I don't know if I joined that fall or that spring. I just know all of my friends had a Facebook account and they kept talking about Facebook.
Yep.
And I paid it no mind whatsoever. I think somebody in my dorm actually, so then it was the spring. Somebody in my dorm set up my Facebook account.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even do it. They were just determined to get me on Facebook.
What about you, Elle?
I don't remember exactly when I got introduced, but I know it was in the very beginning, and a lot of people had it, and I was like, well, I guess I'll see what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't like too enthused about it, but I was like, oh, I'll do it.
Well, because you know what it reminded me of? Because what we did have was like Black Planet and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we had that
MySpace.
before, and that stuff's
MySpace,
gone. But I was like, well, the cool thing is at least this one is like just for like college people. Of course, that's not even remotely what it is now.
Right, not anymore.
But my point is that wouldn't have played such a pivotal role in like a relationship back then. But now it really can influence who you're dating and how you're dating.
So, you know, the interesting thing about it, though, is just in thinking about this and then like reliving the whole startup experience, there were actually indications that this would be a relationship problem back then. Because I remember at the time I was dating a guy who had taken a semester off, so he couldn't get on Facebook. And I had a Facebook account, and a friend from high school was like hitting me up on the Facebook account, and it caused all sorts of blow-ups in my relationship because this guy and I were communicating through Facebook. And this had to be within like a year of Facebook starting.
He sounds really insecure, whoever he is.
He was a little.
You
but,
tell him Bree said, grow a stack. I'm joking.
But yeah, that was red flags way back then.
Yeah.
But was that like Facebook specific, or was that just any communication with another guy that he was not privy to? Because are we really doing things differently, or is it really just much of the same? It just looks different because it's over the internet now.
I think so. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it just looks different, and it makes it because it's so much more easily. I don't know. It's so much easier to access it. Access it. Is that what I'm saying?
Don't hurt yourself.
Why? Why have I been tripping up all over my words?
Yeah.
Access is the word that I was looking for. That maybe that's why it's more of a problem.
Because I can literally think of like all the prior issues that like people would say are problems with social media and relationships, and give you an example of how like our parents dealt with that just without social media.
Right.
But what do you think, Elle?
Yeah, I think that it was just different before social media. It was like things happened differently, but it still was like the same type of problems. Like you said, communication was just like on the phone instead of like DMing and, you know, sending messages on Facebook or whatever.
Right.
else.
Like, what's the difference between a DM and being on the chat line?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See?
Right.
But I think it's like you said, Miss CJ, it's more accessible. Like it's so
At your fingertips.
Yeah. And it's not just like local people or, you know, they weren't calling random people, you know, in South Carolina when you live in, you know, Louisiana. But with social media, you can contact people all over the world. You know,
Right.
it's just, I don't know.
Social media, connecting good people to trash ass people all over the world. That's basically I'll take on it. I mean, that's what I got from it.
I mean, it just opens up more doors to kind of mess up.
Right.
So in some relationships, you know.
But does it also open more doors to maybe being able to meet a mate that
Yeah.
you would not have even been able to access, like you're saying about access prior to, who could be that perfect mate for you?
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's twofold.
Yeah.
If I were single and I am
God, I'm not.
and I am looking for potential mates, it does give me another avenue in terms of meeting people and interacting with people. The problem is, one, I might be catfished. So
Yeah.
I have to do my due diligence to make sure that this person is really who they say they are. And not even catfished in the sense that this person may not exist, but we already know people present their best lives on social media. The things that I'm seeing on their social media page may not even be true to who they really are.
Right.
So I have to do my due diligence to make sure that's who this person really is. And then two, I'm always nervous because if you slid in my DMs, how many other people did you
Right.
DM or message? Or
Yeah.
how many other people are you FaceTiming or reaching out to get to know after they respond to your...
How many people got the good morning beautiful message
Right.
today? Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, catfishing is a semi new term, but I don't think it's a new idea.
No, not at all.
It's just, you know, like back to like the chat line. So you would be talking to this person on the chat line and they would be like, yeah, you know, this is what I look like, this is what I do, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. I'm drama free, I'm blah, 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 blah. And then when you actually meet this person in real life, none of that's true. You
Right.
still technically got catfished, you know? I mean,
Right.
it just wasn't over Facebook or Instagram, you know, sending someone else's photos. It was all still lies. You still fell for an untrue version of this person, you
Right.
know? I mean, so I still feel like it's all still kind of cyclical. It just comes in a different form now.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
So I guess in terms of social media being an avenue to meet people, then sure. But then I think after that, you have to do your due diligence in finding other ways to communicate with this person, to vet this person and figure out if it's worth pursuing a relationship with them, not basing
Yeah.
it strictly off social media. So yes, to answer your original question, it definitely gives you ways to meet more people that you may not have crossed paths with otherwise. But then after that, in terms of considering them for a relationship, it's on you to spend time getting to know this person.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So we've already kind of stated that, you know, people put the best version of themselves out on social media and they're not going to show you the true picture of who they are. But are we guilty of the same thing? You know, are we authentic to who we are on social media all the time? Because I can tell you, I'm not going to put these bonnet pictures up there. I'm not. When my house is a mess, I'm not posting that cute thing my kid did because y'all can see the clothes in the background. Like, you know, like.
I think everybody's guilty of that to a certain extent. You're not going to put the absolute worst of yourself on any social media. I mean, I think some people do like focus on that. Like they focus on being really authentic and showing their true selves and showing what life is really like. But that's like their niche for their social media. But I think for the most part, you know, I mean, there may be some that show both, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. But for the most part, I think most people show the good and the great.
Are we guilty of perpetuating unrealistic expectations for other people's relationships with our social media?
Like, think about what you post about your marriage.
Mm.
Are we guilty of feeding into that, or are we like authentic? Like, look, we're not feeling each other right now, but this is what's going on. Or are we like, I'm gonna only post him when we're at great functions and we're all dressed to the nines and he's doing something really sweet and he's my man crush Monday and he just got home from the gym, so the chest, the pecs are tight and the abs are tight and he's dripping the sweat and he's cutting the grass and he's looking very masculine and he or he just bought me this diamond ring or what, like that's the stuff I'm gonna show. Are we guilty of feeding into that for other couples? Because we have a responsibility, especially with this platform, of trying to have these authentic conversations with people about relationships. And then we kind of turn around and are a little hypocritical because that's not what we're presenting on our own social media. I'm not saying y'all got to go and put up, tomorrow.
An argument about
right. Because
who's going to clean the pots.
Because the bottom line is this. That's not everybody's business. There are things that need to remain private in every relationship. You keep that between you. But are we guilty of doing the same things we're criticizing other people for doing is what I'm saying.
So I would actually have to pull up my social media and see what I post, because when I tell you guys,
you're really, really, really private.
I am very private.
You don't post much, anything.
Every once in a blue moon, like if something just makes my heart burst, I'll post it. But I don't post a lot on social media. That's why I'm thinking I'd have to pull up my social media and see what's on there. I will say that everything that's on there is not a picture perfect image of a life period, because I don't like the idea of posting things because I want people to feel as if I have the model life. Mm-hmm. For me, I just post moments, a lot of them happy moments. So I will say that, yes, I don't post a lot of like bad things. They do tend to be happy moments, but they're genuine. It's not anybody that's overly made up or pictures that are photoshopped. I actually try to never use filters. Every once in a blue moon, I might use a filter, but my biggest thing is always posting like unfiltered, unphotoshopped, unaltered pictures. So in that regard, I try to be as genuine to my life as possible, but I am guilty of not posting the bad moments, for sure.
So I also don't like do the filters, and I don't Facetune or Photoshop my photos, but I will take 25 of them bitches to get the right one.
Definitely guilty of that.
I will do that. My husband's like, are we done? Like, one more time. Like, just, can you just like,
angle,
just smile, but turn into me? Like, just, that's not very authentic. I would love to be able to capture just, someone clicked right when we went in for the kiss and it was just that sweet picture. Okay, for instance, there's a series of photos that we took outside of the Eiffel Tower. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you remember this because you were there, but it took a lot of tries and a lot of different angles, and us trying to take it as a selfie and one of the other guys trying to take it for us, and to try to get this really sweet picture of us making a heart with our hands with the Eiffel Tower in the background. I mean, it would have been nice if that was authentic, but it wasn't. That took about 15 minutes.
Right.
And I had gotten the idea because I saw somebody else on social media had it.
Right.
So it wasn't even an authentic idea,
we took a million over at the Eiffel Tower, and I ended up really not liking any of them. But I was like, this will do. Right. Whatever. I'm tired of taking pictures.
So, I mean, I do think I'm guilty of not inauthentic, because what I do post is truly me. I'm not posting things that didn't actually happen. Mm-hmm. Like, how you'll see people that they post and then they next to their, when we were in Monaco, okay, we're standing outside the Monte Carlo casino and there were 2 Ferraris valeted there. The amount of girls I saw trying to pose with these cars like they were their cars was ridiculous. And I'm like, first of all of y'all using the same hashtag. Somebody gonna click on the hashtag and be like, wait, 12 of y'all got the same 2 Ferraris? Come on now. So I don't do those kinds of things. I'm not perpetuating like a lifestyle that's not mine. I'm not, posting these like Stepford pictures or something like that. But I'm also, like you said, I'm not posting when we fight. I'm not posting the pictures with my house looking a mess in the background. I'm not, I'm not posting that stuff either. So I do think I'm kind of guilty of feeding into it, but it's cyclical because I'm doing that because that's what other people have shown me. That's how you're supposed to use social media,
But in the same sense, do you think that people really want to see that part? Because I'm just thinking of an example. Somebody I follow, I'm not going to say who they are or whatever, but somebody I follow posts every single thing that's bad in her marriage. Like, he did this and he did that. We just fought about this. We did that. To me, I get uncomfortable. Like, why are you saying this on social media? Like, don't, just keep that at home. Talk to him,
So, no, I would not want that to be, like, I feel like we're dealing in extremes. Like, we're dealing either post all the good or post all the bad. I would like a more, like, genuine kind of mixture, maybe.
Well, but she does post the good. She posts the good, too. But she also posts the bad.
But at the same time, I would feel better about, like, myself if it felt like I'm not the only person going through this. If it felt like I'm not the only person who just got really aggravated with their husband because I asked him if he had my cell phone and he told me I don't have your cell phone. And when I did the ping on my Apple Watch to find my cell phone, guess what my cell phone was? He had it. It would make me feel a lot better to know that I'm not alone in that that's normal, that's okay, that other happy, healthy people in good relationships are also experiencing those same things.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I guess it speaks to two things. One is the idea that we have always been taught that you keep your dirty laundry
in your
house.
Yeah.
And so I don't expect to see a lot of people airing out their dirty laundry. And like Miss L said, it does make me feel a little uncomfortable when I know that you guys are in a committed relationship and now you're like bashing each other on social media.
Okay, so let me pause there because I that's not what I'm saying. Like,
and I'm not even saying it. I'm just saying, like,
in general,
like you're doing that, or you're talking about how bad things are, or how your spouse messed up or whatever. All those things, I'm kind of like, let me just keep scrolling.
I guess for me, I would feel better if, like, it was more of, like, the lighthearted, quote unquote, bad stuff. Bad is not the right word. But just the authentic, not perfect stuff is what I'm getting at. I don't think anybody should be airing out all of their secrets to the world, be it on social media or you just one of the people who sit on the porch all day and talk all your business. Which is how the people, like, of our parents' generation probably would have gotten the news that Stanley was having sex with Miss Patrice down the street, even though he's supposed to be married to Wanda, like that kind of stuff. Like, I don't agree with that at all, and part of it might be upbringing, but part of it is also to keep your household happy, because what happens when you told everybody he's a piece of shit, but then you forgiven him and they all still looking at him like he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So that was the second thing I was going to say is a lot of these posts are literally snapshots of one instance in your life. And so at this very moment, there was an argument or you guys weren't vibing or whatever the case may be. But then there's no video reel, there's no follow-up that says, this is how we worked through it. This is how we fixed it. It's like, even on this podcast, we talk about the ups and the downs, but then we talk about, well, what happened after we hit rock bottom? What happened after this argument? What happens after this disagreement? We're able to paint the entire picture and not just one snapshot. Right, snapshot into our lives.
You just can't talk today.
I know.
You should have done some mouth exercise. Say unique New York. New York is unique.
Right?
You need unique New York, like before we started or something. Anywho, you know why you can't talk?
Why?
Because Jesus knew you should not have eaten all of them cheese crackers and not shared some with me. And so he's punishing you by making your mouth dry. That's what happened. Because God don't like ugly. Just thought you should know. I told the Lord, it's okay. You can make her mouth wet again. Anyways, but what I was saying is, so, okay, getting back to, is there a way to present an authentic picture via social media of your relationship, of yourself, without either dealing in the extremes of these are the bad things, these are the good things? And you also have to keep in mind, even, when it's like, I'm mad at him because of blah, 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 blah. We're only getting one side. You're not going to tell us, well, I also did this.
Right.
You're just going to be like, this is what he did.
Right.
So that's not even authentic.
Right.
How do we present an authentic picture of what relationships are really like on social media? And how do we not let our relationships be influenced by inauthentic snapshots of what relationships are supposed to look like?
So I will say this. I don't turn to social media for any type of image of what our relationship should be. I think I talk to friends, I talk to family, I look at living examples in my life, and that's what my husband and I base our relationship on. For me, to just being completely honest, social media is pure entertainment. I don't take anything for face value on social media. It is purely entertainment, stuff for me to look at, laugh at, spark up other conversations with my husband, but nothing that I take as being honest and genuine.
So I think that's wonderful. I also think that is not how a whole lot
Oh,
of people look at it.
no, not at all.
And I also want all the people out there who do like to always post all their dirty laundry, just so you know, there are people who are only reading this stuff and looking at this stuff for their entertainment.
Yes.
You are
me.
You're the court jester right now. Like and just so you know, like everybody has a group chat with their friends with like, did you see so and so's IG post? You know they must be beefing because look what she said about him. And then you go to his page and look what he said about her. Like your arguments should not be over the internet is all I'm saying. Like that doesn't work for anybody. Why we keep looking at the door? We expecting the company? We expecting pizza? Because I'm hungry because I didn't get no cheese crackers.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all can mail us some cheese crackers at Mrs. and a Mike podcast at Gmail. Mrs. and a Mike at Gmail. I keep giving out wrong. We should just incorporate all these emails because I'm giving out all the wrong emails the whole
It
time.
is Mrs. and a Mike at gmail.com.
Thank you, CJ.
You're
got it.
welcome.
Okay, but realistically, nowadays in 2019, meeting someone over social media is a real thing. Mm-hmm. And, we've already discussed that it gives you access to people you would not have had access to before. Mm-hmm. How do you navigate dating over social media? How do you ensure you're not being catfished? How do you go about sliding someone's DMs with genuine interest and not just shooting your shot and see who catches it? Like how do you date over social media?
You don't.
But that's not realistic.
So I guess I'm trying to tie these pieces together. So we talked about, we related it for our older people to like AOL Instant Messenger and MySpace and Black Planet.
First of all, you said our older people, and then you named all of the shit that we had. We are not older people, okay? Older people had the chat line and they had the club, okay? We had AIM, Black Planet, and MySpace, and we are not the older people, okay? So, I need to point that out.
You're in your feelings. I get it a little bit.
I'm not in nothing, and I'm not in the old category either.
If we mentioned these things, MySpace, Black Planet, and we labeled it as the thing that predated like Facebook and Instagram or whatever the case may be, that is the slightly older audience. That's not the newer generation that only knows.
It only predated it by like 2 to 3 years. They didn't predate it like it was prehistoric. We're not talking about the caveman chiseling his phone number in the side of the cave wall.
Well, then next time we bring up these things, don't peg MySpace and Black Planet as being older. That's
you
all
did it,
I'm
not
saying.
me.
Yes, you did. You brought it up.
No, I brought it up. You said it's for old people.
I said older. I didn't say old people.
I'm not older and I'm not old. I'm a spring chicken. I'm still in my prime. Even though I might have TT'd on myself at the trampoline park a little bit.
All right. So when you get out of your feelings about being older.
She's older. I'm not older. She is actually older than all of us. Wait, no, just me. Anyways. I'm the young one in the room. Go ahead.
Nobody is saying Mrs. Bree is ancient.
Oh, you
We're
ain't got
just
to. I know,
saying-
baby.
We're just saying she remembers actively being involved in MySpace and Black Planet. Okay.
Okay, I did. Can I tell you a quick story?
No, you can't tell us the story now.
Why? It's
'Cause
on
you-
MySpace. Or maybe Black Planet. I don't remember which one I met him on.
Oh, about being older.
You know what? Chauncey, cut this next part out because I'm finna curse her out real quick. Thank you, Chauncey. And we back. So I met this guy. I think it was on MySpace. It might have been College Club. Remember College Club? That was the real precursor for Facebook.
I'm
But
not that
anyways,
old.
we the same goddamn age. You just older than me by a month. Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, that's because her ass was in the club. That's why. I was doing my homework, and so I was on the internet. Anyways, I met this guy, and I can't remember which site I met him on, but like all people, he, presented him his best self. So I was like, okay, he's cute. He got a little style. He got a nice car. He said he got a nice job, blah, 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 blah. The things that the internet cannot tell you is that when you meet that person, regardless of the picture that they painted on their social media, thus the picture you have in your head, it will differ.
Yes.
It is impossible for you to present your whole self via some pictures and some quotes. Impossible. Sometimes you're pleasantly surprised because they're better. Most of the time you're disappointed because you built them up in your head. I had built him up in my head. We had a very, very short relationship. That's all I will say. Yep, there's another thing I can say about it, but I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it.
But sometimes it is for the better because, Mr. L and I weren't attracted to each other's social media at all. And we tried to cancel because it was a blind
hookup,
date.
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
hookup.
blind date,
And we
yeah.
were just like, no, that's okay. But they made us go, and good thing they did because we were pleasantly surprised.
I know, that's how we have
So
L.
you can't always, go by social media.
Right.
So
Either
don't
way,
listen to
either
CJ
way.
when she said don't date on social media, because
So-
then you might miss out on your Mr. L.
I still stand by that, but let me tell you why. Because they technically did not date. Okay, so rewind. Skirt. We were tying in this being the present day way of meeting people that you don't have easy access to and connecting with them. And then we were talking about the realistic or unrealistic representations of relationships on social media. And so my thing is, if you choose to use this as an avenue to meet people, then so be it. But then take that next step, like
Meet them in person.
right, like Mrs. L and Mr. L were forced to do, and meet them in person, form genuine connections with them. I know that this whole art of talking on the telephone has gotten lost, but how else are you, like, these text conversations cannot be that involved that you are able to, I mean, maybe they are, I don't
can't-
know,
But you're right, because you can't convey tone over
right,
text.
right.
Y'all remember when you used to be on the phone with the boy and he had like the music in the background and you was like, oh, he got love swing. Or remember when he would call you and leave like a song on your voicemail and you was like, oh, he thinking about me. Now he could have left that song for 12 people, but he left it to you, so you was one of the 12. See, that's how players gonna play. It don't matter how. They
It
will
does
find
not.
a
You're
way.
right. No, you're absolutely right.
But go ahead.
But yes, so creating that connection in person is important. Being able to have conversations where, like Ms. Bree said, you can convey tone and you can get a better feel for what this person means by what they're saying is really important. So taking that relationship outside of social media is necessary in order to have it grow into something more than that.
Right. Unless your intention is just to meet casual friends that will be available via social media or text or whatever, just as a shoulder or an ear or something, but you don't have intentions of this going further. Because, I mean, at some point, you got to meet if you're going to have a marriage or a serious committed
Right.
relationship. I don't know how well that would survive having never met. Although you watch Catfish sometimes, and these people have been like, yeah, we've been talking for 4 years and we never met. And I'm like,
Yeah.
That is.
you tripping.
But I think then that just speaks more to the person and the standards they held for themselves in terms of what was okay in a relationship
Yeah.
and what type of connection they thought or had been taught was genuine and supposed to happen. So that's just like a whole nother thing.
Yeah, we'll
But,
get into that. We'll have an episode about that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I just feel like in 2019, I kind of disagree with you. Like, I agree with you that there has to be a real meet and a real, establishment of a relationship at some point. But I still think you can meet a person over social media and form a genuine relationship. I just think it does have to progress. But in 2019, since that's how a lot of people are meeting people, how do we encourage them to navigate that? Because, again, we already said they're only going to give you a snapshot. It's only going to be the best stuff. We've already said that it's important that it progresses to actually talking to this person, Skyping, FaceTiming, whatever you want to do, above and beyond just texting or DMing. But how do we translate that? Like, would we say, within a certain time frame, a physical meetup needs to happen? Or if that person lives far away, they should make the effort to come see you, or you should try to go see them? Or, like, how do we encourage people to navigate that is what I'm getting at. See, yeah, let me tell you why they stumped. Because I think the consensus is, thank God we're not single right now.
well, no, I'm not going to say that. What I was going to say is that all the things you said need to be set in place. Like, after a certain time, we do need to meet up. If we don't live in the same city, there need to be, like, FaceTime dates. I need to see your face. I need to have conversations with you. I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to push the issue to want more. And
if you're met with resistance, then what?
then this is not the person that,
Yeah.
They say they are.
Because resistance to that is like, really?
or not even the person that you need to be pursuing. They might very well be who they say they are, but this is not the person you need to be pursuing for
A relationship.
a relationship. Right.
Right.
So what do you think that time frame is? You think 6 months, a year? Like, at what point does it need to be like, okay, we've been caking. That's an old person term. But we've been kicking it on Instagram or whatever. For this amount of time, we need to meet up.
I think it's shorter than 6 months.
Yeah.
Really?
If your only communication in 6 months is Instagram,
No. I'm not saying before there's
you just mean before a face to face.
yes, like a in person. I mean, I wouldn't go 6 months without FaceTiming somebody or Skyping or
Okay,
something.
I got you.
Yeah, no, we would have had to. That would have probably happened. So let's say you slid in my DMs on Monday, and I'm liking what you're saying, and I'm responding back, and da. Probably by that next Monday, we should have FaceTimed or Skyped or something. Because I'm not going to waste my time with somebody who's not at all who they present themselves to be. Like, that's just a waste.
I guess it depends on the circumstance. Like, if you're talking to somebody across, the world, a whole nother country, it would be unrealistic to say, oh yeah, we're going to meet up in 2 months. But if it's somebody closer, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours away, then we should be able to meet up within a month or whatever.
Right.
So I guess it just depends on circumstance.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, if you're within close proximity to each other and a month has gone by, and if we live in the same city and we haven't gone out on a date, that's a problem. Long distance may take a little bit longer, 6 weeks, 2 months, that kind of thing. But I think if we are in close proximity a month, and then that's it. Like, if we can't get it together after that, then...
What if that man work turnaround? You don't know what that is. You know how I know you don't know what that is? Because where I live, they have a lot of plants, and where you live, they don't. Mm-hmm. But it's basically like where they work like an extended shift.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, so
they work long hours.
Yeah, but they don't like come home. Like they stay there for like a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
but
And then they get
like people who work offshore, like they, and that's fine. But you would have had that conversation while you're talking to each other. Hopefully. And so you would understand that he can't meet with me in person within this time frame because he's...
So I'll say this. I would probably be willing to not push us physically meeting as hard if certain other things have taken place. If no matter what time I call you, you're answering. So it's not like if I call him after 6, he never picks up because then he's probably got a wife. Or if we FaceTime or Skype regularly, so I've seen that the pictures do match to who you say you are, that kind of stuff, then I'm probably not going to be like, well, we have to meet in the next 30 days or I'm cutting this off. But I also wouldn't let it be a year and we've never actually physically met, because you could look like the person you say you are on FaceTime and then face to face I find out you're 4'11" and I'm 5'8", but you told me you were 6'2". Not, I really caught feelings for you, and there's a physical thing that I'm having trouble getting over because that's just not what I told you from the beginning I was looking for. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it depends a lot on the circumstances, but I think no matter what, you have to be smart, you know? And if you start to notice little red flags or things that are kind of like, did that make sense? Or that excuse didn't sound right? Or, you know, like I said, like he never answers the phone after 6 o'clock on the weekends or something. Like, you have to be smart about those things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because very rarely is it not what you think it is.
Right.
Very rarely is it, he really doesn't have a wife and he really does go to bed at 6 p.m. and he's with his grandmother who can't stand to hear the phone ring because of her hearing aids on the weekends. Very, very rarely is that true.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so we've covered meeting people on social media. We have covered realistic versus unrealistic representations on social media. We've covered how long you should talk to this person before expecting an in-person date. Say all of this pans out wonderfully, you end up in a relationship with this person, married or unmarried, whatever the case may be. Or we also talked about the whole like cheating aspect. It is just a new avenue to do the same thing people have been doing for years. What do you do in an instance where social media is a time consumer? So like the two of you are together, but you're both always on social media. So you're together, but you're not spending time together, or it's now a distraction almost in the relationship.
Well, we're guilty of that. We're definitely guilty of sitting together on the couch, sending DMs to each other of funny Instagram posts, or, you know, my husband is actually, I don't know if y'all have ever gotten a message on Instagram that says, you've seen every new post that Instagram
No, but my
has to
husband
offer.
has too.
It's just like,
And I'm like, how?
I'm like, what do you
never have
mean?
gotten that.
I'm like, I didn't think that was possible. But yeah, he gets that. So whenever I see him a DM, he's like, saw that.
Oh, wow.
Just like he's seen it all.
Wait, that's not why mine has that message. Mine has that because he only follow about 3 people. So after whatever the 3 people posted, it's like,
Right.
there's nothing else to show you, player.
Nothing new.
But with us, it just comes to a point where we're like, okay, let's put these phones down. Let's talk. Let's spend some quality time. Let's do something. So it's never really caused a problem, but I can see it causing a problem in a relationship if you can't put the phone down and get off social media.
So one thing I hate is when we're out on a date and we see another couple out on the date and they're both in their phones. I'm like, y'all are wasting money because you could have just sat at home, ordered Uber Eats, and ate and ignored each other.
Right.
Instead of getting dressed and coming out here and paying a waitress. And, like, it's a waste of time and a waste of money. So one thing we definitely do when we go out to restaurants, like on dates, is we put the phones face down. If it rings a certain ring or something like that, we know that's whoever has the kids calling or whatever, we'll answer that. But other than that, we are not checking social media. We don't care what's going on Reddit or Instagram or whatever, blah, blah, blah. We're in the moment. The other thing we do is we will call each other out, because something we are guilty of is, oh, I want to watch that on TV. Okay, puts that on. You said you wanted to watch this. I didn't want to watch this, but you on your phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to change this to what I want to watch. Wait, hold on. So then he or I will put the phone down and we will engage in what it was we wanted to watch or what we wanted to say or whatever. And another thing that's really made me cut back a lot, my oldest son has started to physically put himself in between me and my phone. Mm-hmm. And that made me feel like, wow, he's feeling like I'm not giving him attention because I'm giving it to this device in my hand. Like he literally will put his head. And I'm like, okay, baby, all right, mommy's, and I will put it down and ignore it and not like be engaged because there is nothing on that phone that's more important than my family.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, but I definitely see in today's age how, for a lot of people, the time spent can really be a problem.
Yeah.
So you're saying that both people in the relationship have to hold each other accountable to limiting the time on social media and using that time and spending it with each other.
Absolutely. The best time to be on social media is when you're on the toilet. That is you time. You ain't got nothing else going on, so you can focus on social media and let your body do what your body's going to do. But once you leave the bathroom, put it down. Engage with your partner. That's what they're there for.
That's why I don't touch people's phones.
Oh, because they are filthy. Absolutely. Nobody ever wipes down, washes their phone. They're disgusting. So I think I saw somewhere that like they swabbed a phone and was like, there's so much fecal matter on a phone. Like it's
It's more than a toilet. Yeah.
More than like you're, cause you think about it, you clean your toilet. When the last time you clean your phone?
Yeah, it's gross.
Oh, I clean my phone.
Yeah.
I bet you do, germaphobe.
Yeah, I will say I'm guilty of this because for me, the only time that I really have to sit down and like scroll through social media and catch up is right before bed. And my husband is always like, you spent 20 minutes scrolling through your phone, and that could have been 20 minutes that we spent having quality time or talking or whatever the case may be. So for me, I have to make a conscious effort to put the phone down more and spend that time with my family and enjoying my family, enjoying my husband. All right, I have one more question. So there was actually a lot wrapped up into this social media and relationship topic. And my last question about social media is, what do you do when you and your spouse don't agree on the things you post to your social media?
So I think this is a conversation that should be had long before we are spouses. You know, because marriage shouldn't change the person. You are who you are. If you are somebody who likes to take bent over, thong, assed out pictures, then marrying should not change that about you.
Right.
I mean, you got married. He don't own your booty all of a sudden. You know.
Right.
Do what you want to do. I think those boundaries and rules should be established in the beginning. But I also think you have to meet people where they are. So if that is something I like, I got this body because I worked hard in the gym or I bought it, whatever I did to get it, and I want to show it off, and you don't like that, you can't try to change me.
Right.
You know, I can meet you halfway in that I will cover up when we're on dates or whatever. But if I enjoy posting this and the feedback that I get from social media, then you either got to accept it or not. And if you're not, then it might not work between us. It is what it is.
What if it's something like, I know somebody who puts everything on social media. Just everything, every little thing that she does, the food she eats, everything just on social media.
That is so annoying. We don't care.
Well, her husband is the opposite, and he doesn't like that she does it. He's like, we don't need our whole life on social media. We don't, whenever they go on vacation, she's taking pictures of everything, and, she's posting them, and he's like, I don't think we need, this needs to be on social media. So, like, what do you do then?
So in that instance, I would have a discussion with my partner, and I would say, while it is your right, because it is your page and you are your own person, I think you might be doing a little too much. And I think the compromise is don't post me and don't post the things that involve me. But you can post your little heart's content about you and the things that you do on your own and the things that only have engaged with you. I think that would be the compromise, because I don't think it's fair for him to be like, I know that's something you like to do, but I don't like it, so don't do it. But I also don't think it's fair for her to be like, I don't care if you don't like it, I'm going to do it anyways. You know what I mean? You got to meet in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think in the middle, a healthy request is leave me out of it and the things that involve me. But I'm not going to say anything if you post 19 pictures of the sandwich you had at lunch today at work.
Right. But if it's dinner with us together, then you would rather them not post
Not
that.
post it because I'm involved. I
Gotcha.
asked you to leave me out of it. Yeah.
What if it has to do with with kids. Like, what if one spouse wants to post every single picture of their baby and everything they do, and then the other spouse is like, I don't want my baby on social media.
So in that regard, I tend to lean more with the spouse that's like, no, because I feel like it's coming from a place of protection, because children get exploited so much on the internet, and you're only giving fodder to the pedophiles and the child traffickers, basically. Not to say that I've never posted my kids, but I try not to post them often. And they're not on my timeline nearly as much as they are on my stories, because stories disappear after 24 hours. My husband, though, has never come to me and said, like, I think you're posting them too much. But if he did, I would definitely reel that back, because I don't feel like that's coming from a place of I just don't get it, or a place of I'm controlling you and I don't like it. I feel like that's always a place of protection.
Yeah. So I think that's the one topic that you can't be stuck in your ways about, and you have to come to a compromise with the other parents about that. You have to.
I have seen this as a compromise. They create a private page where they post the children and
Just
only give
family.
close family and friends that's the only request they'll accept to see
Right.
it.
Right.
And that to me is an okay compromise, because you still feel like you're posting it. Well, because a lot of people feel like, well, this is the only way that, Grandma Jean and Aunt Betty can see little Connor and Billy, because they live in Kansas and we're here, and that way they can still see little Billy, but the creep in Indonesia who's plotting on how to steal little Billy doesn't see little Billy.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, I guess that's a good compromise, because then you have control over who
Who
has
gets to view
access
it,
to the page.
yeah.
If you ever want to delete somebody, you can do that as well.
And black them, and
Right. But yeah, that's the one thing that has to be a compromise.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think so too.
And I also think that everyone has the right to not be shared. So if someone asks you not to post them, you shouldn't.
Right.
Regardless of, because a lot of people feel like, well, then they shouldn't have been out, or they shouldn't have been with me, because they know I'm posting. Like, they're asking you not to post them. Don't post them.
Right.
It's too
Right.
easy to blur people or crop people out. You know what I mean? Like respect people's wishes in regards to the internet, because the bottom line is, whatever you put up there is there forever.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is true.
So you guys have anything else you want to say?
I think that's it. Yes, ma'am.
Well, listeners, if y'all had any social media questions for us, you know how to find us. I'm not even going to attempt to say the email address.
So you can find us on social media.
You can.
Yes.
You can find the Mrs. and the Mike podcast under Mrs. and the Mike on all of the social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. We will have a Snapchat soon.
And maybe this conversation is a challenge to us to be more
Authentic.
but then to also equally represent or to give a more holistic view of relationships through our Mrs. and Mike social media platforms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And we will, because we kind of have been dropping the ball on our social media for the podcast. And when I say we, I mean me. We will be keeping up with that. And
Yeah,
if there's
for sure.
content that you guys want to see from us, let us know.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
please let us
we
know.
want to interact with the listeners. So let us know.
Yes.
All right. So we ready for our question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So our question is from Christy in Slidell, Louisiana.
Hi, Christy. Thanks for listening.
So she says, my best friends tell me that casual dating is pointless, and that if I know I don't want to marry the guy, I'm wasting my time. I just feel like I'm having fun. Am I wrong? Girl, you are not wrong. I'm going to just start that. I'm going to let my cohorts take over, but Ms. Bree said, no, you ain't wrong.
I think it depends on your intentions. So my first thought is, how do you know what you like or don't like if you have not had these interactions with other people? But my next thought is,
What do you mean?
like, just in terms of a guy, like, how do I know what I like in a guy, what I'm looking for in a guy, if I'm not dating different people to see what's out there?
Well, it seems like she is.
Yeah, she's
She is casually dating.
No. She's saying her friend is telling her she shouldn't.
Oh, so you're saying to the
So-
friend, like
the
how would
friend
you know?
is like, well, how would you determine that he's a winner or he's not?
Right.
Got
Right.
you.
So,
Okay, I was
so my
confused.
question
Yeah.
is, you know, to the person who's doing the casual dating, my first answer is yes, it's okay. But then my next answer is, what are your expectations? Because if you are going into dating knowing wholeheartedly that you are looking for a husband or a wife or a very committed relationship, once you get to a point in this dating relationship and you know that's not the case, then that's when you cut this off and move on to a different situation that looks like it's more promising for that. So if you're casually dating, knowing you're looking for something really solid and permanent, I don't know that casually dating is what you should be doing. You should be more intentional with your dating.
Can I jump in here for a second, Elle?
Yeah.
Because I actually disagree with you. I think you can totally casually date, knowing your intention is to find that forever partner in some form of fashion, spouse or whatever, knowing that that person you're casually dating does not fit the bill, and be just okay. As long as they know and you know and you're both honest about the fact that this is just a casual thing, we are still free to see other people, don't catch no feelings. Like there's absolutely nothing
can-
wrong with like having fun.
You can have fun, and nobody's saying that she cannot have fun. My thing is just, are those her intentions? If her intentions are
Well, that's the other thing. We don't know.
Right, so that's what I'm
she
saying.
didn't say like eventually I want to get married. She just said if I know I'm not going to marry him.
Right. So that's why I'm saying, in terms of the friend giving this advice, are her intentions to casually date and she knows she's not marrying him, then by all means have fun.
Right.
If your intentions are to look for a husband, I think that when you start to just casually date and keep people around, you tend to get distracted from the person who could be the potential long-term partner. So I think her intentions and why she's out dating speak more to whether or not she should be keeping other men along and like just, you know, dating here and there, or if she should be looking for something more substantial.
Keep the ones around that you enjoy, even if you know it's not going anywhere, until you find the one that you know is going somewhere. That's how I see it. Because I know, okay, for instance, when I went on my first date with my husband, I had another date that day earlier with another guy. Like, what if I had just been like, no, if I know it's not going anywhere, then I'm just going to sit at home and knit scarves. Like, you can totally be out there doing you. You have a dinner companion. You have a bed companion. You can do whatever makes you happy and still have your eye open for the next guy. Still be checking your DMs. But the next guy, I mean, I won't say it's pointless to casually date. I will say it's totally fine as long as everybody's on the same page. Now, if he thinks he's pursuing you with the intention of making you his wife, then shame on you for not being clear that that's not where you want things to go between the two of you. But I disagree with her friend. Like, it's not a waste of time. And it's fine if you know you're not going to marry him and he's not the marrying kind. Because maybe you can't stand his conversation, but, you know, he makes you climb to the mountaintops. Or maybe you're not physically attracted to him in that regard, but you love being around him because he's really fun. Like, there's nothing wrong with seeing that person on a semi-regular basis and doing whatever it is that you both enjoy doing together, knowing it's not going anywhere. I think you can do that and still keep your eyes open for what could be down the line.
Possibly. And you can. I just think that
We need a tiebreaker.
I think her intentions mean she just had... Her intentions matter in this situation. And now all I'm saying is, if it is for more serious purposes, she has to be more intentional.
Yeah, I think I think the intentions are important, because if she does eventually, want to get married and everything, casually dating could possibly hinder that. Say a guy's really serious about her and she's still dating this guy and that guy and kind of hanging.
No, I mean, you cut them off at that point.
But like, what's that point? Like, when do when do you know
when the one that could actually be somebody you would marry and you get past casual? That's when you cut off your emergency dick in the glass. Like that's, I know I talked about that before on the podcast, but that's when you're like, all right, I just want to let you know I'm seeing somebody and it's kind of serious. So this will be the last time we see each other.
We're also jumping to the conclusion that her casual dating involves.
Well, no, it
that as
doesn't.
well.
Because like I said, it could be something you have no physical attraction to, but you really enjoy being around them. And it would still be the same conversation. Listen, I am seeing somebody now and it's getting kind of serious. So this will be the last time we see each other.
Yeah. Then to me, that's like casual friendship. Like,
Well, no, because
we're kick-it buddies.
Because you don't kiss your friends and you could kiss this guy. You don't on your friends and you could on this guy. You could.
I was thinking more of like, we don't even kiss. We just hang out.
That ain't dating.
So right,
That's
that's why I said that's maybe it's not casual dating at that point. It's a casual friendship.
Yeah, so then that don't count. So you back on my side.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
I
I'm not.
think it just gets complicated if she's casually dating and she wants to eventually have something serious. I think it just gets very complicated. But if she's just casually dating and she's not looking for anything serious, then I don't see anything wrong with that.
What's the difference though? Because she knows he's not the thing she wants to be serious with.
I think, okay. So I think, to be honest, I think this gets a little bit more involved than just like the surface relationship aspect. For me, I think it gets more into like the person and where they're spending their energy and their time. And this is just for me, if my intention or my goal is to find a committed relationship, I would much rather spend my time and my energy and my efforts on things that are headed in that direction. So for me, if I know that that's my purpose, then I'm just saying I'm more intentional in my dating. I'm not even saying I won't, maybe date 2 or 3 guys at one time, just to like vet them and see who I like or don't like. And then as I realize it's not going anywhere, I let that fall off. But for me, when I realize it's not going anywhere, I let it fall off. I'm not still holding on to them to keep them around. And so it sounds like the friend's comment is, if you know you're not dating them, why keep them around?
So I think what you're saying is true only in the instance if everybody's not on the same page. So like the guy has to know that this is just a casual, we kicking it, this is not going anywhere.
Right, but
if everybody's on that same page, there's nothing wrong with having somebody to fill your time with until you find the person you want to really be with.
So then that means their intentions are just to kick it, right?
Right. I never said the intentions were wrong. I'm just saying
that
you can totally casually date in the meantime, knowing that it's not going to end in marriage. Because that's also, ooh, I just hit something. Also, we're assuming that she is looking for marriage because she might not ever be looking to get married.
So we're not, but that's why I'm saying her intentions are what's important here in determining my answer.
But also the guy's intentions. Because it sounds like the friend is saying it's not fair for you to keep stringing him along if you know it's not going anywhere. And if he knows it's a casual thing and y'all are just having fun, then there's no harm, no foul. Like, I don't feel like you have to personally be alone while you waiting for Mr. Right or Mrs. Right.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying.
And I'm saying in the meantime, you can have met somebody who does not check all your boxes. So you know it's not going anywhere because there's some deal breaker stuff in there. But you do enjoy spending time with them. And, maybe they scratch an itch or maybe they feel a need. And it doesn't have to be sexual. It can just be, so you're not alone or feel lonely. But you and that person both know this is as far as it's going. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And to me, that falls into casual dating.
I mean, I just think there's like differences. Okay, if a guy is like, oh yeah, I'm with this one and that one and this one and that one, and he wants to go out with me, I'm not gonna waste my time. Even if it is casual dating, I'm not gonna waste my time on somebody that I know I have absolutely no future with. If I want to get married eventually, but it may be somebody, like for instance, before I met Mr. L, I was dating somebody and he was a really good guy. Like, he was a really good guy. He had no, I didn't have any deal breakers with him, and everything was going good. But when I met Mr. L, I was like, oh, like, that's
Like, this is what I'm looking for.
This is what I want.
Right, so you cut that one off.
Yes.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with
But
that.
if that guy that I was dating was like, had all these issues that I didn't like, all these, deal breakers, I wouldn't have wasted my time. Even
Sometimes-
casually dating.
But
'cause-
sometimes it's not even a deal breaker, L. Like, sometimes it's just, I just don't feel the connection. We don't have the chemistry. But he's a great guy. He's attractive and he's nice to be around and we have fun together. There's just not the chemistry. To me, I don't see any harm in having fun, going out, doing things that couples do, as long as he knows this is not headed to where you think it might be heading. I'm not interested in you in that manner. And by all means, if you meet somebody substantial, let me know and I'll fall back. Like,
But I think that's what I'm saying. I think we're saying the same thing. Like, if you're kind of casually dating someone who kind of checks off a lot of your boxes and you're having fun with this person and y'all are on the same page, like, that's one thing. But if it's somebody that's just a complete loser, for lack of
I'm not saying to keep
like,
the
just
trash
occupy
around.
my time.
No,
you
that's
know.
not what I'm saying. And if I gave that impression, please.
No,
take
not you. I'm saying.
No, I'm
trying
saying
see
to the
what-
listeners, like, if y'all thought that's what Miss Bree was saying, that is not what she was saying. She is not saying to hold on to the trash bag. She is saying that there's no harm as long as everybody is on the same page with just having fun until you find that right person.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just not sure if the friend is like seeing what I'm saying. Like, maybe these guys are like just complete losers and you're wasting your time. They're a waste of your time. Maybe that's.
But I also feel like it's not necessarily for the friend to judge that.
That's true.
Because maybe Christy, that's why she knows. She's like, he's a dummy, but he's nice to look at, and my Instagram pictures look good with him next to me. So it's not going anywhere, but I enjoy going out with him, and he always picks up the check. I don't think that's a problem. As long as the dummy knows I'm not going to be your wife.
So I think the fact that we have 3 different variations in terms of answers to this question is probably the sign to our listener that she should
Listen to her heart.
just well, no, because the listener is the friend, right?
No, the listener's Christy.
Oh, Christy,
the casually
I'm sorry.
dating one.
Is that she knows what's best for her situation and that she's the only one who can make a decision, because even we all are in here and we ended up in our final destination or in our current destination of being married, but we may have gotten there different ways. And so this is a decision Christy has to make in terms of what's best for her regarding relationships. And she has to be honest with herself in terms of whether or not she is looking for marriage or something else and how she wants to go about finding that love. And as a friend, the friend just needs to be supportive one way or the other.
Yeah.
And, my biggest thing to Christy is just be safe.
Yeah.
Just be safe.
I think we all 3 agree on that. Be smart. Be
Yes.
safe and be smart. Listen to your gut. But you
Yes.
could also, Christy, have a talk with your friend to find out, is this just a general feeling she has about casual dating being pointless? Or is there something specific to your situation that maybe on the outside she's seen that's giving her some concern? That there's no harm in that conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Because maybe, again, she could be seeing something you're not seeing in a particular guy. But if it's just a general feeling that she's like, look, if it ain't headed to the aisle, I don't want it. Well, then no, you don't have to subscribe to that if that's not how you feel. Cool? Is that all? Was there anything else, Christy? No?
No,
All right.
that's
Okay.
it.
Well, it's time for my quotes. Y'all ready? Y'all gonna know this one because it was a big hit.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. I picked the most PG part of this song because the rest of the song is very rated R. All right, you ready? I seen your girl post a BM, so I hit it in the DM. All eyes, yeah, I see him. Yeah, that's your man. I hate to BM. It goes down in the DM. It goes down. See, I knew y'all did that one.
It goes down in
Yep.
the DM.
And that is the honest to goodness truth.
it does go down in the DMs. I have had some crazy ass DMs.
I will say this though, if you are in the least bit interested in keeping your relationship together, please, please, please keep your DMs in check. Meaning,
Oh, yes.
if you know it's foolishness, stay away from it.
First of all,
Stay
I
away.
just do not respond to men in my DMs, period.
Stay away.
I feel like as a married woman, that's extremely disrespectful to my husband.
Stay away.
So it's a waste of time to send me a DM. It really is. And if we're friends and you're a guy, then you don't have to DM me. You should already have my number.
Right.
And my husband knows who you are. Y'all have
Right.
met, or he's aware of you, and it's all good. But can I tell y'all, I'm gonna try to censor this because it was really vile. But a guy once sent me, okay, we have to say this. There has not been a single healthy, happy relationship on God's green earth from Beyonce's internet that started with an unsolicited dick pic. Okay, I just have to say that. So, fellas, don't send that shit. No woman is like, girl, I met this guy in my DMs because he sent me his penis. That's not going to result in a happily ever after. Nobody's going to tell that story to their grandkids 50 years from now. Okay. No, we just think you're a pervert and it's disgusting and we laugh at how it looks to our friends. It could be the most beautiful one ever. It doesn't matter. We're still going to laugh at it to our friends. But this guy told me if cookie were poison, eating yours would be my last meal. He just slid in my DMs and said that. I had my jaw on the floor.
Delete. Delete.
I tried to censor it.
No, I'm talking about him. Delete.
Oh, I was thinking about to tell Chauncey to cut that out. Not only did I delete, I blocked. And I toyed with, because he's a real person that we have mutual friends, I toyed with outing him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm not saying to do that. I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just saying, fellas, y'all gotta think about that because some chicks will.
Yes, they will.
And your mama might be on your Facebook and she gonna know you're a creep. Anyways.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, guys, that has been another episode of the Mrs. and a Mike podcast. If you have comments about this topic or you want to reach out to us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Mrs. and a Mike. And you can also email us at mrsandamike@gmail.com. I am CJ.
It's L. And Bree. Bye. The harmony was off on